Finn stood in front of his locker, wondering how he was going to find the remaining two DHIs, Willa and Maybeck. He didn't trust Charlene to seek out Willa.
Isabella Angelo. They call her Willa.
Amanda stepped out from his open locker door. Where had she come from? Could she read minds?
What? How?
As she grinned, the room seemed a bit brighter.
Willa.
Surprised by her, he couldn't get a sentence out.
You found her?
Maitland Middle School.
But how?
I have my ways.
She's into some weird kind of sport. It's not gymnastics.
Archery.
That's it.
Like Cupid and swimming.
Amanda had certainly done her homework.
She said you were cute.
You've spoken to her?
She'll meet you in VMK tonight, like you suggested.
You're amazing.
How was it last night when you went to sleep? Did you know?
What?
Dillard's sweatshirt was big enough to cover a chair.
Hey, Dill. I'm kind of busy here.
Dillard looked between the two. His gaze landed on Finn. He looked hurt. He shuffled off. The sides of his shoes were so worn out on the side edges that his ankles rolled. Finn felt bad to see Dillard so crushed. He was a good guy. The crossing over was taking Finn away from friends like Dill, making all sorts of trouble for him. Amanda persisted.
Did you end up in the park last night or not?
Yeah. Charlene was there. And Philby. And there were pirates.
Pirates?
As in Pirates of the Caribbean. The machines. The guys you see on the ship and stuff. It's kind of hard to explain exactly.
The shock registered on her face, but dissipated just as quickly.
And?
It got a little weird.
Define weird. Did you see anyone else?
Like who?
I don't know.
Finn rolled his sleeve up past his elbow to the band-aid and the glowing red circle surrounding it.
I took a laser hit.
That looks like a cigarette burn.
You and my mother.
Excuse me?
I'm grounded. As in forever. It's a long story.
Maybeck works at the Crazy Glaze.
Finn looked at her blankly.
The ceramic shop. Over on Kilgore. You decorate mugs and plates and pitchers. Stuff like that. They fire them there too. It's his aunt's store.
How do you know all this?
She avoided an answer, blushing and staring at her feet.
I'm coming with you. That's part of the deal.
What deal?
Our deal.
Do we have a deal?
We do now.
Maybe you missed the part where I told you I was grounded. I gotta get home after school.
Did you ride the bus?
My bike.
Well, there you go. Me too. We'll just happen to stop there on the way home.
Amanda lifted her head as if she heard something. Her hair whipped around as she turned to look down the hall.
Uh-oh.
All at once, Finn felt a numbing coldness pass through him, a wave of nausea, as if the blood had suddenly drained out of him. He sank to his knees. Amanda caught him as he was going down. Her book spilled. Some kids stepped out of her way.
Finn? Finn? Are you okay?
Cold.
She hugged him, trying to keep him warm. Finn couldn't keep his teeth from chattering. Amanda pleaded with him.
Think of someplace warm. A beach. A boat. Hot, hot sun. It's a hot beach on a summer day.
Finn felt himself warming. The more he thought of the beach, the warmer he felt. A moment later, he felt fine. He leaned away from her.
Whoa, that was kind of strange.
A small group of kids that had gathered moved on. Finn stood up.
Are you sure you're okay?
Felt like I blew a fuse. Thanks for the coaching. Where'd you learn that?
So much of that stuff we can do with our minds. I thought you fainted.
You turned just before, like you heard something. What was with that?
She looked away. She didn't offer an answer. Now it dawned on him what had just happened.
It isn't safe.
Amanda's brow knit in grave concern. The second bell rang. Finn whispered dryly.
Now I know I've got to get to Willow and Maybeck. I'll meet you out by the bikes after the last bell.
Crazy Glaive was crowded with mothers and their children busily painting blank pottery at brightly lit tables. There were several connected rooms, all filled with color and the murmur of activity. Finn and Amanda locked their bikes out front. Once inside, they were directed to a heavy-set gray-haired African-American woman who wore hoop earrings and a dark purple eyeshadow.
I'm looking for Donnie Maybeck.
You mean Terry? Donnie's a stage name. Say, aren't you a sweet-looking girl?
She said, noticing Amanda and studying her features.
Who should I say is calling? Wait a minute. Don't I know you? Yeah, you're a host, right? I saw you at MGM during the film shoot.
Yes, ma'am.
That's it, exactly. I was over there nearly every day you were all shooting. But you, girl, I'd remember you, and I don't believe we've met.
Amanda, a friend of Finn's.
Well, I'm pleased to meet you both. I'm Terry's Aunt Bessie. I run this place. I own it, too.
As she grinned, the room seemed a bit brighter.
Kids around here, they call me Jelly.
Jelly?
It's quite a long story. It started with jelly donuts and then got out of control from there. Don't ask me about it.
Is Terry around?
Terry's out back, but he's taking it easy today. Not feeling exactly top-notch. I'm not really sure this is the best day to visit.
He didn't happen to faint, did he?
The woman's face hardened. She crossed her arms tightly and looked down at Finn.
Now why would you go and ask that?
I think I need to see him, Miss Jelly.
Finn saw the way his guess had struck her.
School nurse said there's a bug going around.
And maybe that's all it is.
And what is it you're not telling me, son?
I really need to see him.
When she nodded, her double chin turned into a triple.
Fine. Okay. Just not too long. You hear?
You! Maybeck said to Finn, looking up. He was a head taller than either of them. His expression was defiant. There was a hardness in his eyes. He was in the midst of unpacking unglazed ceramics. He didn't want them there. Finn introduced Amanda.
Hey, so what's going on?
Are we okay to talk here?
Maybeck looked around and closed the door that led into the front of the shop.
We're good.
How's your sleep these past couple nights?
What's with that?
Had any vivid dreams?
Maybeck looked searchingly from Finn to Amanda.
She knows. I've told her everything.
I'm not saying that I have or haven't.
Did you make these?
Amanda pointed at a series of beautifully painted water pitchers on a shelf amid dozens of other bowls and mugs. The image on the pitchers was the Cinderella castle.
Tourists like them.
But you painted them.
Yeah, I sell them on the side.
He lowered his voice.
Listen, the money from Disney being a DHI, it's made a big difference for us, my aunts and me, and I can't risk their asking for that money back.
That's not gonna happen.
How do you know it won't?
Finn hadn't ever considered such a thing. His mother would kill him if he lost his college money.
Do you have internet access?
Finn glanced over at her. Why did she always have the best ideas? He wondered.
Sure.
The others and I. Tonight we're meeting in my guest room in the Virtual Magic Kingdom website to get all this stuff straight. It's happening to all of us, Maybeck. The dreams of being there. The fainting this afternoon.
Not me.
The old guy, Wayne, he's got some kind of mission for us. As a team, I'm talking about. He says we've got to go to sleep at some point, and that when we do, we're crossing over.
Maybeck looked completely serious. There was not a laughing bone in his body.
I can't mess things up for my aunt.
We can't stop this. Whatever's happening, we can't stop it. At least, I haven't been able to. Have you? It isn't safe.
Maybeck met eyes with him. A mean look, both angry and afraid. He heard those words before.
No way!
Wait,
Yeah, well, then I guess we gotta do this.